What if I told you that the first 5 minutes after you open your eyes could decide whether you live an extra 5, 10, or even 30 years? It sounds outrageous, doesn't it? But here's the unsettling reality. 99% of seniors have no idea that their morning habits are quietly cutting time off their lives. By the time you finish this video, hundreds of older adults around the world will have felt sudden dizziness, dangerous drops in blood pressure, or scary lapses in memory, all because they skipped one critical step in their morning routine, especially in those first 300 seconds. And here's the real shocker. One specific morning habit has been shown to protect brain cells, slow aging, and lower disease risk, but almost no one is doing it properly. Think about your own mornings. The stiff joints, the heavy brain fog, the way your legs feel like they're made of concrete when you first try to stand. That's not just getting old, that's your body begging for the right signal. If you ignore it, the damage quietly builds day after day. A 2023 study in the Lancet Healthy Longevity found that seniors who followed a targeted morning routine cut their risk of death by 29%. In this video, we're going to walk you through a step-by-step morning sequence that can slow brain aging, improve balance, lower your disease risk, and potentially unlock decades of stronger, healthier life. Step number 3 is the one almost everyone gets wrong, and it may be the key to undoing years of damage inside your brain. The truth is very few people are performing it in the way research now recommends. Before we dive in, I want to ask you something. What is the very first sensation you notice in your body when you wake up? And if you could change one thing about your mornings, what would it be? We're reading and responding to every single comment with personalized suggestions for your situation, so tell us your answers below. Now, without wasting another second, let's jump straight into step number 8. Don't let its simplicity fool you. It may look small on the surface, but it's the switch that can activate your entire internal reset system. Number 8. Wake up without sitting up. We'll begin with what might be the most overlooked, yet most life-protecting morning habit of all. Don't bolt upright the second you wake. When your eyes first open, your body is still caught between sleep and wake. Your blood pressure runs lower, your heart is still stabilizing its rhythm, and your brain hasn't fully reset your sense of balance and position. If you suddenly sit or stand, your circulation can drop sharply. That's when you get those spinning room moments, brief blackouts, or shoulder-first collisions with the doorframe. A 2021 study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that older adults who spent just 30 to 60 extra seconds lying quietly after waking had 41% fewer episodes of morning lightheadedness and sudden blood pressure drops. So here's your new script. As soon as you wake, stay on your back. Start by gently moving your fingers and toes. Blink slowly a few times. Then raise your arms overhead in a smooth stretch, not to force yourself awake, but to tell your nervous system, we're shifting gears now. Take slow, deep breaths. Count to 30. Only then roll onto your side, plant a hand on the mattress, and gradually push yourself up to a sitting position. Think of it this way. Launching into your day in one big jolt is like trying to sprint without any warm-up. You're putting needless stress on your blood vessels, your heart, and your brainstem, the control center that helps keep you upright and steady. Once this slower transition becomes second nature, you'll notice a subtle but powerful change. The morning fog starts to lift on its own. You stop standing up and instinctively reaching for the wall. Your head feels clearer before your feet even touch the floor. Next, step number 7 is a routine almost everyone ignores, and it begins with what's happening inside your mouth. Number 7. Reset your mouth chemistry before you swallow anything. Most people assume the first thing that should go into their mouth in the morning is breakfast or medication. That's a mistake. The very first event in your mouth should be a complete reset. During sleep, your mouth turns into a warm incubator for bacteria, acid, and low-grade inflammation. If you drink or eat before dealing with that buildup, even if it's just a sip of water, you're essentially washing that toxic mix straight down into your gut and bloodstream. A 2022 study in oral diseases found that poor morning oral hygiene was associated with a 24% increase in systemic inflammation markers, including those tied to heart disease and Alzheimer's risk. Here's why that matters. Your oral microbiome, the community of microorganisms living in your mouth, shifts while you sleep. Some of those microbes are helpful, but many accumulate into a sticky layer called biofilm. When you swallow it, that film can disturb your gut bacteria and throw off immune balance. So here's the upgraded routine. As soon as you're sitting up, head calmly to the bathroom. Before you eat, drink, or even brush, start with a 30-60 second oil pull using coconut or sesame oil. Swish gently, not like you're rinsing after dental surgery. Then spit it into a tissue and throw it away. Don't send it down the sink. After that, use a tongue scraper. You'll be amazed at what comes off. Only then rinse with warm water and finish with a thorough brushing. This one shift helps shield you from unnecessary inflammation, cuts down on bad breath, and even improves how well you absorb nutrients from your breakfast. Within just a few days, you'll often notice less bloating, a cleaner feeling tongue, and a clearer, lighter head. Step number 6 goes directly against what most people do next, and your bones are going to thank you for it. Number 6, delay your caffeine and wake up your joints instead. Most people roll out of bed and head straight for the coffee maker, but for seniors, that's almost the worst thing you can do in the first 20 minutes of the day. Here's why. Caffeine forces a surge of adrenaline and tightens your blood vessels at the exact moment your circulation is still sluggish. It creates a fake sense of energy while placing extra strain on your adrenal system, which is already busy trying to stabilize blood pressure, electrolytes, and brain signaling. In a 2020 study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, researchers found that drinking caffeine within 15 minutes of waking disrupted the natural cortisol rhythm in 68% of adults, over 60% leading to energy crashes later in the day. So instead of reaching for coffee, your body first needs movement, not a workout, not heavy exercise, but very targeted joint activation. Here's the sequence to follow. First, ankle rolls. Sit on the edge of the bed, lift one foot, and slowly circle your ankle 10 times clockwise and 10 times counterclockwise, then switch sides. Second, knee circles. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, bend your knees slightly, rest your hands on them, and rotate both knees together 10 times in each direction. Third, hip openers. Stand tall, lift one knee as if you're marching, and gently rotate the leg outward in a circular motion, repeating 5 to 8 times on each side. Fourth, shoulder shrugs and rolls. Lift both shoulders up toward your ears, hold for 2 seconds, then roll them back and down. Do this 10 times. Fifth, neck tilts. Very slowly tilt your head from side to side, then forward and back about 5 times each, pausing briefly with each stretch. These gentle drills help stimulate synovial fluid, the natural lubricant inside your joints that keeps them cushioned and moving smoothly. Spend just 3 to 5 minutes on this. You'll feel warmth spreading to your hands and feet, your posture will feel more upright, and your knees will creak less. Then, when you finally enjoy your coffee 30 to 45 minutes later, it will actually boost a system that's already awake instead of shocking one that's still half asleep. Now, step number 5 may surprise you because it doesn't involve food supplements or coffee. It starts with what you put under your feet. Before we move on, if this is opening your eyes, tap that like button so more seniors can see it. And don't forget to subscribe, we've got even bigger longevity secrets coming up. Number 5, ground your bare feet and reset your inner compass. If you wake up feeling off, like the room is gently spinning or your thoughts are moving through molasses, the problem might not be your sleep at all. It may be your internal navigation system, the part of your brain that keeps track of balance, space, and direction. That system relies heavily on vestibular feedback, and one of its main input channels is your feet. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that seniors who practiced just 5 minutes of barefoot grounding on a firm surface each morning improved their balance and spatial memory by 21% in only 3 weeks. The skin on the soles of your feet is loaded with nerve endings. They act like your brain's sensor array for gravity, posture, and alignment. Shoes block that information. Slippers muffle it. Socks insulate it. So here's your next step. After you finish your joint activation, stand barefoot on a flat, solid surface, ideally outside on natural ground, but a hardwood or tile floor is fine. Feel the floor under you. Slowly shift your weight from side to side, then from heels to toes. Breathe deeply and steadily. This simple reset helps reboot your vestibular system and lowers your risk of falls before your day even begins. You'll notice another benefit to mental sharpness. Your head feels clearer, your body feels anchored, and your reaction time improves. Step number 4 is where the real transformation begins, because now you're finally going to give your brain what it's been starving for. Number 4, feed your brain before your stomach. This is the pivot point of your entire routine, because what you do here sets the pace for how quickly or slowly your brain will age over the next 24 hours. Before you eat, before you swallow any pills, before you even glance at your phone, your brain is craving one thing: clean hydration plus true neural fuel. Here's why. While you sleep, you lose up to 1 liter of water through breathing and sweat. Your brain actually shrinks a little overnight, and its electrical activity slows until it's rehydrated and refueled. In a 2021 study published in Nutrients, older adults who drank 16 to 20 ounces of room temperature water immediately after waking scored 23% higher on memory and attention tests just 20 minutes later. That's the hydration piece. But your brain also wants electrolytes and a gentle form of natural glucose, not candy-level sugar, but a fuel source your neurons can use efficiently. Here's the protocol. In a glass of warm water, mix about 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt or sea salt and add a squeeze of lemon. Sip it slowly. After that, eat a few bites of fruit, such as a banana or a small handful of blueberries, just enough to break your fast with clean, steady fuel. This combination primes your nervous system, smooths out your cortisol response, and helps many medications absorb in a more predictable way. You'll often notice your hands feel steadier, your vision less jumpy, and your thoughts clearer, as if someone opened a window in a stuffy room. Next comes step number 3, the one we warned you about earlier, and it's the step most people are unknowingly getting completely wrong. Number 3, stimulate your brain before you relax it. Most morning routines focus on calming everything down: slow breathing, quiet sitting, gentle stretching. But for seniors, the bigger threat isn't usually stress, it's understimulation. If your brain doesn't get enough activation in the first 30 minutes after waking, your mental speed can lag for the rest of the day. This becomes even more important after 60, when the reticular activating system, the network in your brain that controls wakefulness and alertness, naturally becomes less responsive. In a 2023 study published in Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews, older adults who practiced purposeful brain activation within 20 to 30 minutes of waking showed improvements of up to 32% in processing speed, memory, recall, and reaction time. The problem is that most people try to wake up their brain the wrong way. They grab a phone or tablet, letting screens flood their system with dopamine, which leaves them feeling mentally drained an hour later. Or they rely on passive input background music, mindless chatting, which barely nudges the brain at all. Here's a better approach. After you've hydrated and moved your body, give your brain 3 to 5 minutes of active challenge. That might be a crossword, a simple puzzle app, or reading a short article out loud. Reading silently engages far fewer regions than speaking the words. You can also try reciting your to-do list from memory or naming 5 friends from high school and where they lived. All of this lights up your hippocampus, the memory hub that's especially vulnerable to aging. Practice this every day and something remarkable starts to happen. You feel mentally younger. Names come back faster. Appointments are easier to recall. Stories stay clearer. The world feels more in focus. Step number 2. We'll take all of this early morning brain power and lock it in using something your body is already trying to give you for free. Number 2. Sync your breath with light. This step may feel a little unusual at first, but it's one of the quickest ways to lock in stable energy, mood, and hormones for the entire day. Your body runs on a built-in 24-hour timing system called the circadian rhythm. It quietly controls when you feel sleepy, hungry, alert, and even how strong your immune system is. The main reset button for that rhythm every morning is light. When you pair that light with intentional breathing, the effect becomes even more powerful. In a 2022 study in Chronobiology, international seniors who combined early morning light exposure with guided breathing reported a 31% boost in mood, motivation, and focus in just 2 weeks. Here's why. Your eyes contain special light sensors called melanopsin cells that are especially sensitive to natural blue light. When that light reaches them, they send a signal to your hypothalamus, the brain's master clock, telling your body it's morning, reset everything. Most people accidentally weaken this signal. They crack open the curtains and walk away, or they practice breathing exercises in a dim room with no sunlight. To get the full benefit, you need light and breath at the same time. Here's how to do it. Stand by a window or step outside. Look toward the sky, not directly at the sun, and inhale gently through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for 4, then exhale for 6. Repeat this 6 to 10 times. This simple pattern stimulates your vagus nerve, smooths out your cortisol rhythm, and nudges your brain to release serotonin, your natural feel-good chemical. You'll sense the shift. Your chest feels more open, your heart feels lighter, and the knot in your stomach begins to ease. Now we're ready for the final step. Step number 1 pulls everything together, your anchor, your internal compass, and it takes just a single sentence each day. Number 1, speak one purposeful sentence aloud. Most seniors never realize this, but the very first thought you have in the morning is often the most powerful thought of your entire day. Why? Because your brain is still drifting out of theta activity. The state is linked to memory consolidation, emotional sensitivity, and subconscious programming. Whatever you think or say during this window tends to sink in deeply and quietly shapes your choices for hours afterward. In a 2020 study in Psychology and Aging, older adults who practiced setting a spoken intention each morning showed clear improvements in executive function and lower anxiety levels over 6 weeks. But this isn't about repeating vague affirmations. It's about speaking one specific, meaningful sentence out loud, something that reminds your brain why it matters to show up today. On a neurological level, this simple act switches on your prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, focus, and decisions, the exact abilities many seniors fear they're losing. When you do this after syncing your breath with light, it amplifies your emotional resilience, which is the number one predictor of how well you bounce back from illness, injury, or even grief. Say that sentence out loud every single morning, even if it feels awkward or you're not sure you believe it yet, because over time, your brain will start to. If you've ever felt like your body is aging faster than your mind, or like you're waking up into a duller, slower version of the life you once knew, this routine can be the moment everything begins to turn around. When you step back and look at all 8 steps together, you start to see something clearly. Your mornings are not just a blur of habit. They are a daily reset button for your brain, your balance, your blood pressure, and even how long you stay independent. Waking up slowly, clearing your mouth, activating your joints, grounding your feet, feeding your brain, challenging your memory, syncing breath with light, and speaking one intentional sentence aloud. None of these take long. But repeated day after day, they quietly rewrite the story of how you age. You don't have to do this perfectly. You just have to start. Try 1 or 2 steps tomorrow morning and notice what changes. Maybe you feel a little steadier when you stand. Maybe your thoughts feel clearer before breakfast. Maybe your mood doesn't sink the way it usually does. Those are not small things. Those are early signs that your nervous system is listening and responding. Remember, this routine is a tool to support your health, not a replacement for your doctor's advice. If you have medical conditions, dizziness, or balance problems, always talk with your healthcare provider about what's safe for you. If this video helped you see your mornings in a new light, don't keep it to yourself. Tap the like button so more seniors can find it, share it with a friend who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel for more science-based routines to protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. And in the comments, tell us which step you're going to start with tomorrow. Your next decade of life might begin with the first 5 minutes of your day.